stay away from work. Okay? And then we are accumulating. Someone in the morning, they said we are accumulating health. We want to live, like high. We are paying for those things. We have no time to sleep even in those houses. We have bought beds that are very, very expensive. Let me tell you a story. When I went to work for corrections, it's like jail. Inmates. I wanted to find another word to use, but I'll just use that, inmates. They have a small room, maybe with just one cup, with just the clothes that they have. And they have to, when they're going for a shower, you have to give them. They have nothing. They are so happy. They'll be singing in there. I'm like, how can they be singing in a cell? Some of them are happy, not everybody, but I'm looking at those that are happy. They have less, they live with less. They thank God for the meal that is provided for them. When I ask them, but how come you're happy? No, anyway, I know I'm saving. I know I made mistakes, but I'm here. They're giving me food. I have a place to sleep. Anyway, that is one side of the story. And then I have people that have everything. Money, beautiful cars, and yet they're not happy. How can we do it?
Thank you for the information, really important information that you're giving us. I'm also coming from that point of lifestyle. Actually, I'm a physician. I just had a talk here last night.
Okay. Oh.
I do lifestyle medicine. And lifestyle medicine is now recognized in medicine, conventional medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Conventional medicine as important to where we are. And lifestyle, at the top of lifestyle medicine, the core principle self-care is, there's plant-based nutrition, exercise, there's stress management, sleep, and what you're talking about. And what I wanted to say because Mama talked about all the work she has to do. Honestly, one of the things that bothers me a lot, and I've gone to school, I've had to, my husband had to watch my kids when I went to medical school. Do you know how painful that was? He was the one taking care of the kids because I had my daughter when I was in medical school, and then I had my son when I was in residency. And I had to carry the pump because I was determined to breastfeed the kids, and I'm carrying the pump to work, bringing the milk home and all these things. What we have to realize as women, our main job when we have family, our main work is in the home. To take care of our family, to take care of our kids. I'm not saying, do not employ Mama to work, but Mama is supposed to help. Support. And now we have Mama doing everything. No, as mothers, it's our job to be at home. And no matter what you do, the jobs we get, we have to work around our family. Our family has to come first. And now, we're in a culture where we take the kids to the daycare or we leave them for Mama. And Mama's values, you know what I mean? You understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. Like the values, either daycare or when you leave somebody else with your kids, your first job is to take care of the family. As women, we are going to school, we are getting our nursing degree, our medical degree, everything. Like you said, we are not even sleeping on those beds. We get these big houses. We have, in a family, this is what I say. The man should be the provider. And whatever he gets, you work around that to make sure that you can survive on that one income. The way that we are living with these big houses, which we don't even get to stay in these big cars, and then we have to have two people working to support that lifestyle. And living the kids, you said kids are stressed out. Kids are committing suicide. We don't even know why. Yeah. Right? So our job as mothers has to be family first. Supporting you can, and now online. While they're at school, get online or get a part-time job, do something. But our first job as women is take care of our kids, take care of our family, and downsize. We don't need all these big houses, big rooms, big whatever, and we don't even live there, and we have to work, two of us, doubles, to support that kind of lifestyle. There are many things, but that's what I would say for now.
Thank you so much. You've touched what we are talking about, like balance. When I was a young girl, when I was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? I just wanted to be a wife. And I would say it with pride. I just want to be a mother. I want to have so many kids. And because my mother had so many kids and she was taking care of cousins and all that. But then my dad would tell me, no. In the near future, things will be so hard. What? He would tell me. And my dad actually pushed me to go to school. School wasn't in my mouth. Okay. But anyways, when I look back, I thank my dad. But here is what I say. My dad never taught me to balance. I've been so stressed if I can't go into my story where I had to go to school, then I had to be a wife, then I had to do all these other things. I needed someone to just teach me, yes, you can do these things, but you can balance. When it comes to a home, as mothers, even as fathers, we have to know our needs first, get to know your needs, get to know the needs of your wife, the needs of your children. Sometimes it's okay to sit on the table and say, what can we work with? And you don't have to complicate it. Maybe you can say, Sunday, let's sit down. We are starting a week. I'll be working, okay? I'll be going out to work. You kids, what can you do? What can you do now, to help us involve the kids so that they can start learning how to balance. But the thing is, I've worked doubles. I know what that can do to you. Working doubles, you have no time to think about anything else. Yeah. You come home, a child cannot talk to you. Daddy, no, I'm tired. Mommy, no, you can't even spouses can't even talk. They can't talk, Had a friend of a young lady called me and said, you know what, I'm having issues. I don't know how to connect. My husband, this. So I said, you know what, take some time off. Now I'm coaching, Take some time off, be at home, because you don't know what your husband faces when he goes to work. Let him find you home, prepare a meal, and see how that goes. Says, no, but I need to work. I have doubles. I said, when you're having issues, take some time off, be still. First, look after yourself, look after your own heart. What is going on in your heart? Once you are ready, then let that person also just see your changes, because we are not here to change people. It's difficult to change people, but we can do our part. Next time, this young girl told me, oh, how did you know what you told me? I'm like, I've been there. I used to be a bitter wife. I used to be a bitter mom. I'm busy. Let me do my thing. So now she told me, oh, one time my husband came from work. I had a meal. I had some popcorns. After eating, he told me, you know what? The way I was coming here from work, I was just planning to come shout at you. But when I found that meal and popcorn, that's what worked for me. Then he started talking about what was going on at work, sharing now. Okay? So I'm saying take time. You need to balance. You take time. If your child is not feeling okay, take some time. First, help yourself. We have a lot of kids. I can mention there are drugs out there, right? I've been working with drug addiction. Kids are getting into a lot of things. Sometimes as mothers, as fathers, we don't even have answers. The first thing you do when you hear your child has gotten into that, slow down yourself, take care of yourself first. Then learn some ways of communicating to your son or your daughter. Because I can assure you, you might not even know what to do yourself to help that child. You don't have to blame them because you don't know what led them to that. Okay, but when you slow down, you help yourself, then they'll see that you are calm. Then they can explain to you whatever is going on with them. I talk to some kids that I say, but why don't you tell your mom? You know, no, she's not ready to listen. You know, kids will tell us even how they got into drugs. This is what happened. I wish, they even say, I wish I'd listened to my father. But they'll not come and tell you. Okay? Because we are not taking time for ourselves to open up so that we can communicate better. We can connect better. Anybody else?
And I was just one. I was just going to say, the saying goes, bite what you can chew. So if you bite what you can chew, you will always be comfortable. Like all that you're saying. If we don't have a lot of things to take care of, then we'll be able to take care of our families comfortably. But on the other side, a lot of people, especially people, some of us who are not from here, have the other side of things where you have to help people back home. And that is one of the big things that, people who come here, are responsible, have that responsibility. So if they have to take care of their families over here and also have to take care of families back home, so that's another thing. But like you were saying, the key is balance and just do what you can so that you can be able to lead your family in the right way.
Thank you so much. Now, I don't want to leave Mama's, Mama, you said something about all the old ladies, the grandmothers, the grandfathers that we are keeping in our homes. I think as a community, now I'm coming to a community, they are coming from home with a certain way of life. These are people that were visited maybe when they were home, their cousins, their aunties, their community. So I think we need to take time. This is just what I always think about, where we can bring these, at least even a Sunday, maybe one Sunday in a month. Take all these oldies and say, let's take them for breakfast. Let them live. They should be leaving our homes. Okay? Or maybe at a church like this. Maybe at a church like this.
I'm telling them in our language, let these dogs listen to you, then they can do what let me speak in Swahili. Anasema kama hivyo ndio inawezekana sisi wazee hapa na wale wa makanisa yale mengine, mapastors na wale wanahusika. Siku moja sana. No, I'm saying this part. I have asked her if I can speak in Swahili.
Yes,
I can also speak in Kisii. No, yes. I'm saying this. Nasema hivi. Jumapili moja mtukusanye makanisa yote hii ya Minnesota Conference na ile Central na zote. Muweke siku moja ya wazee. Mtuweke pamoja sisi, hiyo siku tufurahi hata sisi tupate off. Alafu mtufanyie vizuri, hata kama ni hizo vitu mnatengenezanga miguu. Tunaweza pelekwa tutengenezwe miguu, tutengenezwe uso, tutengenezwe nywele, hata kama si ni wazee though. Mnaweza hata kutupaka paka rangi. Yeah, ili na sisi at least tupate siku ya kupumzika na tujienjoy at least vile tunafanya kazi ya watoto na tunawasaidia. Asanteni.
Okay, thank you so much. So, I'm gonna translate. So, we need a day. Let's prepare our mothers from these homes. We can even say at a church, let's even pay for a spa. Let them come, they clean their feet, they pamper them, they give them the massages, at least one day in a month. You know? Is that the translation? Yes. Ah, okay. So that, because, you know, she's not the only one I've heard from. Even in my community, there are mothers that are just there doing the work, and they're doing the work sometimes, and they don't even complain. They don't want to say anything, you know? But since I have the microphone, I'm using it today, okay? Call me Ladies Women Ministry. We can do this. We can start from somewhere. Arrange a day when we can take care of our parents. We let them talk their language. Let them, you know, away from home. Let them do something, you know? Is that right, my sister? Yes, okay.
Day off yourself, and then also give them a day off. Just say, Mama, go today, or you don't have to come today. Just rest, so that you stay home and take care of your kids. You know, you can do that too.
Amen. Amen. But that can only be done if you are balanced. It starts from you. It starts from me. Once God helps me, I'm balanced, I'll be able to think of somebody else. If I'm not balanced, I'm just thinking of me, and me, and me. Okay?
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
I just want to add another point. I don't know how valid it is, but you can help me out. I'm saying about the budget. We need to budget in order to have balance. Because as ladies, especially me, I have a weakness. I'm saying about budget. If we don't budget, we will end up doing extreme shopping. And then when we come home, something's gonna go on the other side, which you don't want. So budget will help bring some balance. It will bring some control, self-control. Especially ladies, we have this weakness of, you see this, you want it. You see this, you want it. So when you have a budget, you will be able to control, even have some control in your pocket, so that you don't overdo shopping of maybe dresses which you want to wear, not wear even in the same year, just because you saw it. So when you have a budget, you know, I went to buy milk, I buy soap, I buy shoes. But if you go there and you find a lot of nice clothes, you'll end up shopping for $1,000 when you need to use 100. So we need to budget our things and plan it together as a family.
Thank you so much. She's talking about a budget. So making a budget and following through it. You left out that one. Because you can make a budget on paper. You know?
That is me.
Yeah. Then when you go to the shop, you don't even look at what you listed. You start picking up other things. Let me tell you something. I wasn't a person that would do budgeting. But in Africa, I used to teach bookkeeping, commerce, accounts. But culturally, I never saw my parents' budget. Even if I was teaching these things, I never budgeted, okay? In the morning, I showed you my niece that had to go for treatment. She went to India for treatment. Our firstborn told us, we have to budget and we have to come up with money. We are all working here. And he said, pledges. Then I told him, I don't pledge. If I don't have money in the account, I'm not pledging. But then I told him, however, I'll work doubles. When I work those doubles, then I can contribute money. He said, no. This time it's not gonna work like that. Pledge. Then I said, who pledges without money in the bank? He says, no, but he says, Me, I budget, I write things down before I have the money, then I work towards that. So I said, okay, let me try this time his way. So I put on paper, I sat down on paper, I put everything that needed money, my school, housing, rent. Then I put whatever I was being asked to contribute towards my niece. I put everything down. Then I looked at how much comes in, okay? You know, I was able to say, if I can cut down on this, I cut down on this, I cut down on this, actually, I'll have this money by next month. And I did that. The money was ready. I contributed that money, and I had enough to take off from work. Actually, I stayed home for maybe 2-3 months. But without that, all we do is work, bring in money and spend, bring in money and spend. So if we can learn to write down, you know, write down, sit maybe at the beginning of the week, start small. Sit at the beginning of the week, what do you need? Sometimes I'm that person that will have so much food in the freezer, but I'm going to the grocery to buy more food. Why can't I cook the things I have at home? So when I'm talking about this self-care, it is all like cook from your pantry, cook from your freezer, okay? Develop something that works for you and your family. Not the things we see on TV, not the things we read in magazines. You have to sit down. Here is my family. What can work for my family? What can work for me? What can work for my family? And do that. Cook from your freezers. Cook from your pantries. Okay? Yes.
A lot about family in general, but sorry. The question I have is just specifically for being a woman, as a woman in this world. So what are the positives and the negatives of being a woman in this world?
Okay. What are positives and negatives? What do you think? Yeah, sure. Contribute. Did you want to?
Okay, being a woman, the positive of being a woman is number one. God created us the best and the beautiful creature ever on earth to assist the man. That is positive, number one. Number two, without women, there will be no human being, because we are the people God used to recreate. When God stopped creating those 7 days, He gave us a very big responsibility as women to recreate human beings. So we are number one before the eyes of God, because we help Him to recreate, give birth, bring all these men and children and all over everybody. It is because of us. So that is number one, positive. Number three, positive. Then I can give a chance to the other women and men who are here. Without us, these men you see here, they will never manage their houses. Plus Biden, Raila, and the other, who is the president, Ruto, and the other men all over the world. All the world presidents, men, famous men, even the other man who is here with a lot of money. Without a woman, no man can live on this earth. I'm done. I can add sometimes later.
Thank you. Okay, did that help? Okay. Thank you, Mama. Did that help on the positive side? Did it help? Oh, what about the negative side? Who can help? Who can help us? The men, you are so quiet. The men. Okay. Okay, please say. Later. I'll come that side.
I mean, she has almost said what I wanted to say, but one thing I can say that women, we are at the advantage that we can do multitasking unlike any other.
Amen.
And we can be able to be soft and kind to even our children, where the children we ever be remembering mama. I don't know whether you have ever said dad is mama. I mean, there are a lot of things, but the negative side is that we are overworked. We are overworked. I mean, by chance. I mean, not that we want, but because we are there, we have to do more than anybody else. Yeah, and then another thing that we have a softer heart, unlike men. Sorry.
Okay. Men, may you? Okay, now I want the men, at least 2 men. What is the negative side and the positive side of women? Help us.
We have a soft heart, so we need a hard heart.
Okay.
No man want to say anything before I give it to Sister Sarah?
Okay, give it to Sister Sarah.
I want to say the positive part of being a mom is that you are loving and caring. And every time you are always giving, your heart is always out there. You are giving it. Always, no matter it's a stranger, you have compassion. Always, it comes from inside. The negative part of it is we forget ourselves. We never remember to take care of ourselves. That's what I can say.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. So
do you know that as women, we are busy doing all the good things apart from ourselves? You know? Okay, I have my father there.
I think, Madam, you have spoken very well. One thing you forget is that a man is the head of the house. And the head. I want you to understand, my dear women who are very good. What's the head? What is in the head here? The head, in the sense that if anything goes wrong, the man knows what's wrong and they speak about it. He'll even give out his voice. That's wrong. And thank God, you have a wife who sees and says, oh yes. So God was good to have created these two people in such a way that one should be strong. One should be strong because he is the head, and the other one should be softer. That makes the family going.
Amen. Amen. So thank you so much. So what gets in the way of that? Who allows him? Yeah. Culture, different values, different cultures, things that we have learned from our grandfathers, our grandmothers. Do you know when we are saying, let's create what works for us, sometimes we have to overlook things that we've learned from home. Look at our family today. What do we need? What can work for us in this country? Because if we stick to things that we learned, you know, a long time ago, good things, but that are not working for us in this home, are we going to be happy? No. So we need to create ways of living, adjust today. If we try it today, it's not working. Let's sit down. The best is communicate. You know, I come from Africa. There are so many times, even where I work, I'll see something, but I'll not say it. But now I learned. Since I learned to say, I think I've been happier at work. Okay, good for you. So what we are saying is, start as families. The world, around the world, there's a lot of loneliness. People used to say loneliness is for single people, is for whatever. They are married lonely now. Our kids are lonely. They sit in their bedrooms. They don't want to come out. What can help us is starting to look at how can you connect? First, learn to connect with yourself. Understand yourself. Today, I'm not feeling okay. What's wrong with me? God, help me. You are not happy. You read a verse, Sometimes tell your friend, tell your wife. The kids should know. Let's be vulnerable. Tell them, I'm not okay. They'll actually embrace you. Because, in UK now, they are prescribing connection. You go to the hospital, go find a friend. But we come to church, as we are so many, we are Adventists. We come to church, and guess what? Even this is the different Adventist I've seen. I was born an Adventist in Africa. This Adventist, we come to church and smile. We leave. I'll call somebody else for help. I'm not calling a Zambian. Because once I call, they'll start talking. I'll hear it everywhere. And when I'm low, when I'm down there, I'm low. That's not what I want to hear. But unless we start looking at things differently, start with me, we have to start learning a different language of communicating with our children, our spouses, our church members. Okay? We don't have the answers, but just like we are talking today, this is what we need to be doing. Come, let's talk. Come, let's talk. No rules. Let's remove the rules. Just sit down and talk. What's going on? Can we talk? Can we connect? This is what, because do you know we have the verses, we have the Bible, we have what can I say? We have the Christian background, we have it. But how can we translate what we have learned about God, about Jesus in all these areas of our lives? Because it's not just the spirituality. We have the spiritual part pinned down. We can say the verses from Genesis to Revelation. Prophecy, we are gifted with those things. But how can we sit down and translate to say, why are we lonely? Okay? What's going on? How can we translate what God has given us in all areas of life? Budgeting, let's start small. Let's talk about it. Okay? Unless there's one or two people to contribute, I can go on and on. Question?
One thing which has bothered me, especially in this country, how can we be able to relate? Like I have adult children. They don't want to sit with me. They're busy with their life. How can we be able to relate and talk so that we avoid the problem we are seeing, especially for the youth in this country?
So how can you relate? What I hear you say is you'd like to connect data. Is it your son or daughter? Yeah, you want to connect. I'm sure it keeps you awake at night. Oh, sorry. You want to connect with your daughter, your son. Maybe that's what keeps you awake at night. How can you connect? Start with yourself. God, teach me how to connect. Don't stop calling them. Call them. They'll not pick up your phone sometimes. My daughter told me, Mom, I work such a time, you can call me here. I say, no. When I feel like calling you, I'll call you. I don't mean you should pick up your phone. No, I'm a mom. When I feel like call her, I'll call you, knowing that you might be in the office. It's okay. But you will find my mystical. You know, because why do I do what I do? Because I've had the privilege to sit with people that are going through issues due to relationships. Most of our clients, the problems starts with at home, relational. It's relational. And we are Adventists. We're supposed to be doing better. Anyway, not that automatically, we are supposed to be learning. How can we make it better? We shouldn't stop learning how to make things better, especially how we can relate with each other. It doesn't mean that, you know, you call people. Some people don't even want to see your phone call. It's okay. But when you do it, you say you did it, at least you made an effort. Connect with strangers. I've been traveling all along. The first thing I do, I get to a place, I'll find a healthy shop where to buy. I'll go to the shopkeeper. Oh, I'm new here. I'm new. What do you have? Next time they see me, they will come to me. I've just started connecting because I know there are people that are coming to the hospitals because they have nobody to talk to. They cannot connect. Okay, someone else wanted just before Mama. Someone.
I just have a question. We, the young parents, were growing. You know, we're getting there where she's talking about. But my question to her is, was there a connection before with your kids? Or are you trying to create it now?
I can help her. Was there a connection before? Maybe not. You can start now. If there was a connection before, what happened? Sometimes even looking at what happened, you never have answers. Okay? So starting now, the one that sees a need, God is talking to you to find an answer. If you are the one that is seeing a need, God is talking to you, pray, be on your knees. You might get an answer through somebody else. Who knows? Yes, sis. Oh, someone, oh, you had a mic.
I think the connection, it all comes back to balance, because and sometimes it's our culture too. The culture that we grew up in is your mother is not your friend, and they'll tell you, you know, if we grew up in that culture where your friends are your friends. It's only here where you can be seen with your child going to a playground and the like. But the culture that we grew up with, your father, your mother is not your friend. The only time they'll see you with your mother or father is maybe you are going to buy a uniform or something or shoes, back home. So even the balance that I'm talking about here in America, like as parents to young kids, we are busy. We never have time. You going to school, you're working on the weekend, you never even connect with your children. So that grows in them. It grows in them such that when they start becoming teenagers, you just see them go in their room. They're just, it's already in them,
Yeah.
So we have to start from the, like the root, find a time during the day, come together, do a devotion. One, you set up a time and do a devotion, but, in this America, we are just so busy, so it starts from there.
Yeah, thank you so much. And one other thing, connecting with kids. And I'm talking because I'm saying I've seen a lot. And right now, I'm a very shy person. Why am I getting out in the community to talk about this? Because what I've seen inside there, I'm feeling, no, it's time for me to get out and talk about these things. How I talk about it, God should just help me. We have people, kids, that would say, oh, my mom was not in my life, or my dad, this and that. We have teenagers that are coming from Africa to join their parents here. they find their parents are so busy, they start acting up because they want attention. They end up in psych, or mom is not there, or dad is not there. Also, we have even adults. Their parents are even dead. Their father is dead. They're still blaming the daddy to say, it was not in my life. So what we can do is start learning, just start slowly and talking. Mostly we are not even talking about these things. You know, we know what is going on in our communities today. We don't want to talk about them. Culturally, we do not go there. But I'm saying, let's start talking. It will help us. It will help a young mom to know that, oh, if adults are talking, I can also talk about it. It will help a young mother to come to me, Auntie, I'm tired. Can you just sit with my kids so I can do homework? You know? So that's why I'm out here talking about these things. Otherwise, I'm a very shy. This is not my thing. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I think I've tried to see most of the examples from the Bible that even what I was running with my class this morning. It's hard since sin came to the world as parents to balance even the relationship with our kids that we have in the house. It's so hard. Just look examples of the Bible. It started with Isaac and Rebecca. They were not able to balance between Jacob and Esau. One had to rob one and another had to rob one. There's a division there. Look at David. He was not able to balance to his kids that God had given him. He had to show favoritism to one way or another. And that's the example that happens even to us. Like, as Africans say, oh, my kids are up them equally. You are lying, because nobody will love equally. You will not love your kids equally. That's a pure truth. But you write to them that I love you all. But for them, they will be able to see mom or dad love so and so more than I do. So that starts to create some division without you understanding. So the idea is that as parents, sometimes you may not think that they know, you may not know that you are doing so, but it's a running process that will be very, very careful. Sometimes you try to say, whoever that I talk to and listen to me, I try to be favorable to, or whoever that buys me this kind of product, does for me this. So you naturally you try to find that you are leaning one shoulder to another end and another, but before you knew, it brings a problem. You call John, it's not picking your phone because he says, why can't he call Mark? Because he's the one that he loves. So I would say that such a kind of environment, sometimes it can put us in an awkward situation without us knowing. So we need to pray that God will give us a spirit to balance our love, our joy, our kindness equally to whatever kids that He has given us, both those who listen to us and those who don't.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, those that will listen, sometimes we have no control over that. We can only pray for them, and then let God do His thing. Another hand.
I had something to add a little bit about the connection. I have a teenager. For 2 years I've experienced, so I have an experience that I can share how to connect to this young generation. It's so hard, especially if you didn't start at the earlier age, but whatever situation that you have. I'll give an example like Sheila. She loves sports. She loves to sports and takes much of her time. Sometimes I had to stop what I'm doing. Like my schedule, it has to match her schedule. It's me to drop down so that she can be comfortable. So that's one way to connect. When she's doing her sports, but for example, if you had issues or you have seen something, her behavior, Go to her when she has a game or something, you enjoy there. Then after the game, maybe when you are giving a ride home, start a talk. How was your game? This and this. Then you start a conversation. You have time to speak to this girl or your boy so that they can be able to open up. And when kids see that you sacrifice, how much time do you give to them? You see that you are not there for them. Anytime the kids ask you anything, you say, no, I'm busy, I'm that. So it's you parents to look at what the kids need. If they are interested on this side, try to give them what they need, so long as it's not taking them to something else. Sometimes our kids ask us to, like, I want to go out and hang out with my friends. Most of us parents are like African, we say no. But you even don't know what they are going to do there. What about saying, oh, Sheila, you want to go and hang out with your friends? What about if I join you? Is that okay? Go there and see what they do, instead of you making an assumption of what they are going to do is evil. Go and share, stay aside, give them time, let them socialize. And then after that, come and ask, how was your socialization? What did you talk about? The kids can be able to open. I know it's hard, but parents, we have to give our time. It's about time. How much do we give to these kids? Then that connection can come. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. So I think I just want to wrap up looking at time. What we are learning is we have to keep learning. We have to be open to new ideas so that we can make it better for ourselves and the people that we love and our communities. And these young people, there's a big study that they're doing right now. They're speaking up what they really want. And they're just saying, they just want parents just to be there. You know, listen, just listening, just being there. Listen, okay? Because sometimes, yes, you'll be able to tell them, if you do this, this is what will happen. They don't know, they won't even get it. Okay? But when you listen, you ask them questions. Why are you making this choice? Okay? Have you tried other choices? Like the other mom, just being there, seeing what is happening. And you know, when you're in their lives, even when they're starting to change, to drift, you will know. The worst thing is to hear that your child has drifted 5 years. You have not noticed it yourself. You know, when you're in their lives, when they're drifting, you know what to pray about. Some of the kids will come to you, oh, my friend told me this, my friend is going through this. Pray for them, pray for their friend. You know? So it's not gonna end here, but that's just what I had to share. And thank you for staying up. I have these, you can read. This is a letter to you. These are verses that I wanted each one to read a verse, but there's no time for that. But keep it and read it as you go home. Thank you so much. I need my fruits back.
So what do you say? Do we need more of this? Yeah, we really need. We want to say thank you. We are so blessed. And next time when we call you, please don't be too busy for us. Yeah, so we're going to end it there. And I want to say thank you, and thank you so much for the information that you have given unto us. And I hope as we get off here, it's going to help us. Let's not be just listeners. Let's go do it in practical. Let's go use it in our lives. So at least, even if you move from one step to another, it makes a lot of difference than just staying